Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in today's episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be hearing a hypnosis session that I did with a gentleman that was experiencing negative thoughts. And one of the key things that I personally believe about thinking is that thoughts aren't necessarily good or bad, or positive or negative, but more useful or not useful. And the reality is, as humans, we have a lot of mundane thoughts. We think about things that are very, let's say, low value. We might make an evaluation of something or someone. We think something is good or bad. All these evaluations, all these kind of throwaway thoughts are very limited value. But equally, if you're listening to this, you've probably had a couple of thoughts that are immeasurably valuable. An idea, a desire to do something or to be someone. And that one thought created a chain of events that completely changed your life. So we could say that that thought that was very valuable was a useful thought. And we could also probably agree that the vast majority of the thoughts that you have aren't that useful. And sometimes you can have a thought connected to a powerful emotion, such as anger, for example, or frustration, or even resentment or bitterness, that is also not useful, but it feels more significant because it's attached to an extreme emotion. So quite often compulsive or intrusive thoughts are thoughts connected to a particular emotion. So if you think of PTSD, for example, one of the symptoms of PTSD is re-experiencing a traumatic event. Now, that certainly isn't useful, and not in an objective way, but it feels really significant because the thought of maybe reliving a traumatic moment might have a emotion such as anxiety or panic attached, and then that feeds into a physiological response. What you're going to hear in this hypnosis session is a particular metaphor to start thinking of thoughts in different ways. That the thoughts are simply thoughts, and it's down to you to figure out which ones are valuable and which ones aren't, and to allow the low value or no value thoughts to just be, kind of set aside, to allow them to kind of slip through your fingers, to just flow down a stream, as I use in this metaphor. I think that's useful, and it builds on some of the principles of ACT, which is called acceptance and commitment therapy. And it's a very stoic way of thinking that you don't try and control those things that you're not in control of. So you can allow those thoughts to kind of pass. Another metaphor, another session I've actually recorded uses a metaphor of leaves on a stream. They float down, they're gone, they flow away. There's no thought that's going to stay with you forever. It might be a similar thought or even the same thought coming back, but it won't be the same thought staying there permanently. But there are thoughts that are really valuable. So this hypnosis session is designed to almost be an alchemist within your own life, to observe the thoughts that kind of flow into your life and to pay attention to those that are really valuable thoughts that could be utilized, that could fuel decisions or dreams or goals or changes in your life. And that's why I think this will be quite a useful session for people that might have struggles with intrusive or negative thoughts. This was created for someone else, so if you feel that it might be useful for you to work with me directly, there will be a link nearby where you can book a free 30-minute consultation call. But I think this will be useful because it's a fairly broad metaphor. So find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in, just imagine breathing in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, just get a sense that tension, stress, worries are leaving your body in your outward breath. Meaning that breath by breath, you're able to go deeper and deeper. Relaxed now. I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine that you are in a picturesque valley. Imagine there is a beautiful stream with rocks, and you can see that stream cutting into the hillside, surrounded by perhaps mountains and rolling hills. And there's something about the trickle of the water that you can hear as it cascades over the rocks that just enables you to go deeper and deeper, relaxed now. As you breathe in and breathe out, I want you to imagine that you're actually there by that stream, hearing the water, but also feeling the breeze on your skin, seeing the blue sky, the sunshine, being surrounded by the beauty of this incredible landscape. It then dawns on you that you're in a part of the world where it's known for deposits of gold. And I want you to find a part of the stream where the water cascades into a pool that then continues to flow downstream. And in that pool, you can see pebbles, rocks, silt, sand. I want you to get a sense that every grain, every stone represents a thought. I want you to imagine that the stream of water flowing down carries with it deposits of this silt, this sand, these stones, these pebbles. Some are small, some are larger, which represents your reality that day in, day out, you're having a constant flow of thoughts. I want you to get a sense that some of your thoughts are valuable, some are just observations, and some have no value whatsoever. Perhaps you've been surprised at the inane or silly nature of just some of your thoughts. Someone could think, for example, of a penguin that's coloured pink falling over on some ice. That doesn't mean there's any value in that thought. Doesn't mean they have to do anything with that thought. It just means that as humans, we have a constant flow of thoughts. And I want you to get a sense that thoughts have value proportionate to their usefulness. I want you to imagine perhaps you're standing there in that stream with what looks like a sieve, a pan, the ability to capture the silt, the rocks, the pebbles as the water cascades through. And I want you to get a sense that you have the ability to filter out thoughts that are valuable and useful from those thoughts that are just thoughts. And here's the thing, no matter what you think, in any one point in time, the stream will always flow. You can guarantee that whatever you think now, there will be further thoughts an hour from now, a day from now, a week from now. Some of your thoughts represent ideas. Some of your thoughts represent things that you're grateful for, that you really value in your life. And just by thinking about those things, doesn't it make you feel good to acknowledge that they're in your life? These are small nuggets of gold. The value is the emotion that it brings. And a good idea could lead to a great decision. And a great decision could take your life in a different direction that gives you more amazing experiences. So a good idea could be valuable. I want you to get a sense that even in a criticism, those complaints, those niggling thoughts of, you could have done better, why did you do that, could also have value, but not in their current form. I want you to get a sense that when jewelers make gold jewelry, they don't provide it to a customer in the same form that it was discovered. It gets melted down, molded, transformed into something else. And from this point forward, I want you to imagine that inner criticism, negative self-talk are potentially nuggets of gold. But your objective is to filter out the genuine nuggets from those that perhaps seem like they're valuable but really aren't. Imagine that the function of any kind of criticism or negative self-talk is for you to get better. Just imagine an incompetent football coach yelling at kids, run faster, play better. The intention is good even if the execution is bad. And I want you to get a sense that how can you improve the relationship with that part of your mind that is providing you with those opportunities to improve, opportunities to assess, to make changes, to keep what's good, and to evolve what could improve even more. I want you to get a sense that a thought is just a thought. Even a thought's ability to create an emotion is purely based on whether or not that thought resonates with the values and beliefs that you hold about yourself already. If you have a fear or an insecurity, a thought could come up and make you feel bad, but even that is an opportunity to wonder, is that belief I have about myself true? Is it useful? Is it valuable? Or am I still thinking about myself the way I did many years ago when I was a different person? I want you to get a sense that there you are in that beautiful stream, filtering out the silt, the stones, the sand and the pebbles, and then you're left with bright, gleaming, shiny little nuggets of gold. But this gold is only valuable if you do something with it. And I wonder, how much more value can you get from your life if you turned what was perceived to be negative self-talk into powerful, profound change? Maybe you've heard of the ancient alchemists that spent a lifetime trying to turn lead into gold. Don't you have the opportunity to do that? I want you to imagine that any time that you can take a negative thought, a criticism, and polish that, and evolve that, and change that to a decision or a change of perspective, to make that pain turn to something very valuable and precious for you. I want you to get a sense that from this point forward, there is no negative self-talk. There is just thoughts and self-talk. If it's perceived to be not useful, it just becomes the sand and the silt and the pebbles that you discard. And if it's valuable, then it becomes the gold that elevates your life to whole new levels of standards that give you more of what you desire in life. In which case, can there really be any negative self-talk? It's either a minor distraction that just gets put back in the stream that flows downstream far away from where you are, or it's a nugget of gold that you can work with and turn into something valuable and precious. Either way you win. So long as you're there to filter out the thoughts, to keep what's good, and the thoughts that are really important, the most precious gold, will be the ones that even if you miss it as it flows down the stream, it will simply come back round again. It's your intuition giving you intelligence to make a change. And if you ignore it, it will just come back around again, giving you a further opportunity to identify it for what it really is. A golden opportunity. I want you to imagine leaving that stream, but having a little pouch that you pour your nuggets of gold into, realizing that everything valuable in your life came from a thought. The things that are most precious to you were connected to a thought. But not all thoughts turned into precious things. I want you to think of your best decisions, what you're most grateful for, your best ideas, and they're all thoughts that turned into value. In which case, don't you want more of those thoughts to pass through that stream so you get more opportunities to find those nuggets of gold? It's now time to return to the present, but take that gold with you. Find yourself back in your body, listening to my voice firmly in the present. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Get a sense that you're in your own physical body right now. As I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thanks, Adam. Right on time, that was brilliant.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.